What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Dragon, the Keyblade Maker. Just want to say hello to all my nerds, geekettes, and that wonderful Technicolor rainbow in between. Out here today, just left the mall, about to head home, grab some lunch on the way back. Just thought I'd do a little vlog. So, today's topic: perceptions. A lot of people perceive that cosplayers are a lot different than what they actually are. You know, a lot of us, yeah, we are nerds. We'll openly admit that we are nerds. We love doing nerdy things, playing video games, all that stuff, but we are more than just that, myself included. Outside of cosplaying, I'm actually an avid martial artist. I've been in the martial arts for over 20 years. I am fundamentally sound in 6 different styles. I'm also an avid gearhead. I also aspire to be a race car driver outside of being a cosplayer. And the car I'm driving right now, my Acura Integra, I do eventually plan on working on and eventually taking on 2 track days. But outside of me, there are a plethora of wonderful people who do different things besides just cosplay. There are law enforcement. There are people who own their own businesses. There are people who work government jobs, myself included. I work at the library. You know, there are people who are basketball players, who are soccer players, who are, you know, CEO execs of major corporations, stuff like that. You know, a lot of people perceive that all cosplayers are just nerds, that they're just the quintessential, you know, button-up tie, pocket protector, big Coke bottle glass wearing nerd, and I think people need to like kind of grow up on that aspect a little bit. I mean, it's an old, outdated concept that really needs to be put to rest. I mean, and the origin of it was really considered derogatory in a lot of ways. I mean, yeah, now it's more socially acceptable, and a lot of people say it's cool to be a nerd, hence quotation marks, but it's not really cool because people still berate and denigrate people who do this stuff either for a living or for fun. You know, I was actually just finishing up a Star Wars shoot a few weeks ago. I was walking with a couple of friends who were actually cosplayers as well. They were out of their cosplay. I was still in mine because I didn't bring a change of clothes that day. I was going straight to work. I didn't care. But we're walking through downtown DC, and these group of guys just start berating me, saying, "F you, Star Wars is effing stupid, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other," thinking they're cool, trying to tear me down because I'm in cosplay. So while I do think it's great that people are more socially accepting of being a nerd, I think saying it's cool to be a nerd, I think it's just a media hype, and people really need to really understand what it means to be a nerd. It's more than just, you know, throwing on, you know, button-up shirt, stuff like that. It's more than just dressing like a nerd. You know, it's more than the Coke bottle glasses and the pocket protectors that you see back in the old days or whatever they perceive to be a nerd nowadays. Being a nerd is kind of part of what a person is. It's like the same thing as saying, you know, I'm a martial artist. It's more than just throwing a few punches and kicks than saying, you know, I know karate. This is what we grew up as. This is what either we grew up as or what we learned to be over time. It's more than just what we are. It's part of the core of who we are. And I think a lot of people nowadays misperceive that based on the whole media concept. What media is trying to make being a nerd or being a gamer cool. It's more than just playing video games. It's more than just throwing on, you know, a Halloween costume. It's more than just watching, you know, a couple cartoons here and there. Being a nerd is almost a lifestyle, and a lot of people misunderstand that. And media is turning that askew, trying to promote a new fashion line, more modern fashion line. And people need to understand that just because we're a nerd doesn't mean that's all we are. It's one side of our life, whether it's the majority or the minority side. It's still one side of our life. We are more than what people see. And I think if people see that I think the nerd culture as a whole can grow exponentially, because it would open it up to a world, probably a whole another world of new things, of new people, of, you know, new opportunities, new ways to view the world. And I apologize if I'm getting a little emotional here. This is a little close to home, because growing up I was beat up because I was a nerd, because I liked video games, because, you know, even though I was a soccer player, I also, you know, I preferred going home and playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I got beat up a lot because of that. You know, I grew up watching Reboot and Dragon Ball, and the original Dragon Ball Z, those kind of shows. You know, those were my shows growing up. And I got beat up because I liked them. Now it's a little more socially acceptable because of the expansion of the nerd culture. But you know, not even 10 years ago, it was almost derogatory to be called a nerd. You know, it was almost like people were slapping you in your face, calling you like a faggot or something like that. And please don't be offended, all my gay people out there. I am not taking child. I'm just using it as an example. You know, it's just, I think our culture as a whole can learn so much if they just take out a lot of these outdated and old, just straight up old perceptions that people have. I apologize, the road's kind of bad right now and I'm using my phone, so it's gonna bounce a little bit. But I think a lot of people need to realize that being a nerd is more than just the clothes. It's a part of who we are. It's part of what we naturally are. You know, a person who's a real nerd can tell you it's not we just woke up and decided to be a nerd. This is what we grew up as. This was what was almost embedded in our DNA. And I think people need to understand that. As I said, we've come long strides since like even 5 years ago about the whole concept of the nerd, but I do believe we still have a long way to go. I like the direction we're heading, but we still have a long way to go. And in terms of cosplaying, I think people need to understand that for a lot of us, this is a lifestyle, almost a way of living. I mean, there are professional cosplayers that do this stuff for a living. Can you imagine that? They make costumes. They spend hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars making a costume that they wear very rarely, just to give other people, you know, a sense of reality a sense of fantasy brought to reality. These people are creating dreams and fulfilling them for kids and adults of new generations. You know, and I think that other people need to understand that cosplay is more than just buying us. It is more than just buying us a costume at Party City. These people hand make my costumes. You know, I'm not building everything completely from scratch, but I'm not going to Party City and buying some $20 costume. These actually take time and effort for me to put together, as well as other cosplayers. Other people who take cosplaying a little, you know, who do a lot more effort into their cosplay. Yes, we have the people who walk around with a cardboard box that says Optimus Prime across it, and they call it cosplay. That's great. It gets, you know, people take pictures with them. It gets them attention, and it's fun. It's a fun little twist that they throw on it. It's not a bad thing. But that's what I'm saying. People who do this, like, who really put effort into this, you know, I think that people need to understand that this is something that is passionate to them. Just like a mechanic working on a race car, or an artist working on an easel, or even a fashion designer working on that new outfit. This is a passion for us. This is passion for the cosplayer, for the nerd in us. This is our passion. This is what we love to do. And just because we love to do it doesn't mean that's the only, but that's, like I said, just because we love to do it doesn't mean it's the only thing we do. There's more to us than just the cosplay. And like I said, I think that's my personal opinion. I think people need to open up and see, look, even though enjoy the cosplay, but look past it as well. Look at the person. Look at who's doing it. Look who put the time and the effort into bringing you the fantasies and the dreams of people to life. Giving them that one moment of happiness, that one moment of fantasy brought to reality. Even if it's for a split second, or even if it's for a couple minutes, it's something that it makes people happy. It brings a sense of joy to someone's world. So people need to understand that they need to look past their outdated perceptions of cosplayers and nerds. That we do more than what they think we do, and it's not just a fashion statement. It's not just, you know, a niche or, you know, a phase. Being a nerd is part of who we are. Being a cosplayer is the passion that we have, however much effort you put into that passion. All right, but I'm about to go eat lunch. Hope you guys have a great day. Oh, before I forget, updates. So it looks like I will be going to MagFest this year, thanks to that wonderful provider of half my DNA I call my father. He has graciously bought me a ticket to MagFest, so I will be attending this year, in 2017. My tentative lineup right now is Officer Nick Wilde on Friday, Steampunk Keyblade Master on Saturday, and I haven't decided, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing my Rogue Jedi Mars Lando on Sunday. So don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dragon the Keyblade Maker on Instagram and Facebook, and at KBS_N_KDS on Twitter. Also, make sure to follow my shop page at Keyblades and Key Daggers, both on Facebook and Instagram, and the same page on Twitter. All right, hope you guys have a great day, and remember, stay nerdy.